There's a kind of magic to making memories, to finding time for the little things and the big things, the new things, and the things you'll do over and over again. It's the magic of a job well done and a well-deserved day of rest, of living life to the fullest with the people you'd never want to live without. Fareway, closed on Sunday, open for life.
Iowa Fireworks Farm is Iowa's largest fireworks store. 6,000 square feet of hand-picked fireworks, over 50 brands and 1,300 different products to choose from. But they're also family-owned and operated. Iowa Fireworks Farm is the one stop you need to make before July 4th. You'll find them just south of the Metro. Take I-35 to exit 43 at New Virginia. Head east and look for the Big Red Barn. At Iowa Fireworks Farm, the toughest part will be deciding what not to buy.
Eric Church Free the Machine Tour. Live at Wells Fargo Arena, Saturday, September 27th. One epic night of music that you won't want to miss with special guest Marcus King Band. Get tickets now at highvtix.com. His new album, Evangeline vs. the Machine, is out now. For more, visit ericchurch.com.
Two guys, two Chris's, one network. Iowa Everywhere. It's time for Two Guys with Chris Williams and Chris Hassel. Presented by Fareway Meat and Grocery from the Channel Seed Studios. Where? Everywhere. Live and always on demand at Iowa Everywhere.
Good morning, Tuesday, the 24th of June. It's Chris and Chris on Iowa Everywhere. We are presented, as always, by our friends at Fareway Meat and Grocery. I'm back in the state of Iowa. Spent a few days down in the land of Chris Hassel. It was lovely to be down in your neck of the woods.
It's good to see you.
Good to see you, brother.
Only saw you one day, though, because you decided to stay like an hour and a half away from us. But it was fun.
I did do some investigating, and you, according to people, sources.
Yes.
Delray's like an adult town. Like, don't take kids there. There's just not a lot to do. I was told for kids.
Yeah.
I was telling all these people, I'm like, I have one of my closest friends. He's like a brother to me. He's this big television star.
It's more high class, upper crust. It's more expensive. You probably did the right thing for your kids by staying down there. You probably had more kid-friendly garbage down and wherever the hell you were than you would get in Delray.
Oh my God! Speaking of garbage, there was that man eating seaweed everywhere. It's got like organisms that live in it, and it's making everybody break out. In some cases, blister.
You mean everybody by your? You mean your daughters?
No, it didn't do that to us. The wife was doing some research on it when we got back, and
this time of year we get a little seaweed on the beach.
Apparently, it's like this is one of the worst years ever.
Really?
Yeah, she was telling me all about it. She, because she's a veterinarian. For those who don't know, and there's these like lice that live in the seaweed.
Lice?
Yes.
Well, you'll be fine. You have no hair.
But when you like swim in it, sometimes these like eggs will like hatch, and it'll like stick to you, and it'll make you all break out.
I have never ever heard of that.
Matt, look it up.
At the same time, I don't really go to the ocean this time of year. This isn't really the time of year to go to the ocean. It's the time of year to go to the pool. And I stuck to my guns. I said, no damn kids in my pool.
You did. We were going to come to Delray on Friday, and Hassel, you were nice about it. You kept pushing and pushing and pushing, and it was very clear you didn't want the kids there. So we rented a boat, which was fun. I'm glad we did that. Shout out to Andre.
It's too bad because you broke out the skinless brats.
Yeah, I did.
You could have shared those with the kids.
Broke out the Fareway skinless brats. I tried them a few different ways. The regular brats I thawed out. The jalapeno cheddar brats I cooked frozen. Tried them both. The frozen is interesting because there's 4 in a pack, and you can't break them apart. They're frozen, so you got to throw the whole thing on the grill and then break them apart as you go. But they cook up pretty nice. In fact, I think I liked the frozen ones, the jalapeno cheddar, a little bit better. They were a little more crispy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I liked that they weren't overpowering. Like I had brats with cheese in them as a kid, and it was disgusting. It was like Cheese Whiz.
No, not these.
It was too much. These, it's very subtle. Like I got the very subtle spice from the jalapeno, which was nice. I highly recommend trying the skinless brats.
Love it.
So were the regular ones just like some Johnson?
It's a movement.
No, they were regular skinless brats. They just didn't have anything in them.
They're both skinless. Okay.
Steve wants to know.
Nice.
He's watching on YouTube. How can you be nice about not letting your friends' kids swim in your pool? It kept getting like every day. I'd be like, yeah, we're just concerned. We don't really have a place for the kids to nap. They need to. It got pretty clear. Okay.
We have one bed. Okay. We have no like kids' toys for the pool. It's just a pool. Like there's nothing. There's no water guns or anything like that.
They'll play with the dog. Be fine.
It's an hour and 15-minute drive each way for you. So I can just imagine these kids just getting so riled up in the car, so pissed off in the car. Then they get here and they see that this is not a kid's place to be.
It's Uncle Chris' house.
They're
That's all they cared
miserable.
about.
They're going to be miserable, and they're
They're
going to be
like,
thinking
that's
about
the guy from CBS HQ.
I think we made the right choice. The boat
We had a
was
great
fun.
day. We had a great day. Although you didn't get in the lake or get in the ocean with us. What was up with that? Was like, because look at this. Hassel's wife, my kids, we're all out on this lily pad in this bay, and Chris refused to get in the water.
Well, I'll tell you, I was going to get on that pad until you got on it, and your daughter Elise started screaming that you were sinking the pad into the water, and then if I got on it, it would sink even more.
Yeah, but then she chilled out. She was just scared to get in at first because of the manatees.
Doesn't someone need to be manning the boat too? Like, what if the boat takes off?
Andre was.
What?
We hired a captain, Matt. Yeah, we hired a captain. You kidding me?
Yeah, right. Like we're driving a boat. Oh yeah, you rent
Can't
that
drive
out.
your own. Wow.
We're driving around the ocean, Matt. It's a freaking yacht. What do you what do you think we're driving? Like a pontoon boat here?
You're not that far from the shore.
You think we can drive a boat?
Yeah, Williams drives a boat all around the Lake of the Ozarks.
Not down here.
It was cool though. We rented this boat, and this guy what are we driving through? Like basically like these like canals through Fort Lauderdale.
It's called the Intercoastal. Yeah, it's the Intercoastal.
It was kind of neat, like city boating is how I would put it.
I was pissed off at Andre at first though.
Really?
I thought, well, it's kind of your fault. Partially.
Wasn't really my fault.
Well,
for being late.
It said specifically on the guidelines to arrive 30 minutes early to fill out some information and all that shit. Well, Williams shows up like 5 minutes late.
I had already filled out everything for what it's worth.
Or so you thought. We get on the boat.
Yeah.
And Andre's like, "Who's Chris?" And we're like, "Well, we both are." And he's like, "Oh, no, that's not your real name. Your full name is Christopher. You've got to redo all of this paperwork, both of you."
Horrible.
And Williams filled it out for his, like he had to fill one out each individually for his kids too. So he had to go back. We're sitting there as our time is ticking. We spent a lot of money for 4 hours, and our time is ticking here as we refill out these forms because apparently you can't put Chris Hassel and Chris Will. You have to put the whole goddamn name. I was fuming at first.
And he was kind of a dick about it, too.
Yeah, he was. That's something that you got to put specifically in the email. Make sure it matches what's on your driver's license and what's on your passport. We never fill out, when we fill shit out, we don't put Christopher. Matt probably doesn't put Matthew. Come on.
No.
So that cost us about 20 minutes.
The freaking traffic down there, though, like, I'm plugging it into my thing, and it's like, it's a 22-minute drive. It took us over an hour to get to this place. I told you. Because the goddamn drawbridges kept dropping or going up.
That's why I don't go anywhere. I stay in Del Rey.
It sucks, man. Yeah, I don't blame you at all.
Because it just takes, even to go one town south to Boca, it's still going to take 30 minutes to
I told my wife,
even though it's 5 miles.
I said, we're not renting a car the next time. If we would go to that place, we're just going to Uber and we're staying there. And if we can walk or Uber, we're getting there. I'm not driving. I got so pissed off at the Orlando trip this year with all the traffic. Orlando's the worst city in America. And like everywhere we went, there would be a drawbridge.
Yeah. It's because you're by that intercoastal. On that intercoastal.
God. Anyways, we had a good time. It was good to see you.
It was good.
Good to see your wife. I haven't seen your wife in a really long time.
We boated from 3 to 7. And I was ready to eat my arm when we got off that boat. Because we're used to eating at 5:30.
The early bird special.
Yeah. And
so we don't eat until like 8 or 9 usually.
Oh my God. I ate like a fucking pig at that restaurant you found, which was good on you. Because a lot of the restaurants around us were full. I mean, we had 6 people. It's easy to get in places when you've got 2, but you got 6 people. So we found this place. I don't remember what it was called.
It was Bo's.
It wasn't Applebee's.
Eating good in the neighborhood.
Bo's, is that what it was?
It was Bo's.
I ordered a fried chicken sandwich with French fries, and we had like firecracker shrimp and fried calamari, deep fried everything, and I ate my face off. It was good though.
Yeah, it was good food.
It was really good.
It's good eating. I like going down to those coastal areas because I like seafood a lot. I got the mahi. Lovely.
Yeah, you ate like healthy compared to everyone else.
I gotta try. I've been on the T, been really watching my calories and all. I drink so much beer over the last like 6 days, though.
Yeah, I don't know how you do it because
beer.
We were on that boat, and I mean, I think I had probably 4 beers on the boat, and I can't drink more than that beers.
Yeah, but you drink heavier beer than me. That's like you're drinking like wheats and IPA, like, and I
had
still,
one IPA.
I like that stuff. Like I would prefer like if I'm gonna have like 2 beers to have that, but if I know I'm gonna be drinking for like 5 hours, I just stick with the Busch Light.
I brought Busch Light. I don't think you opened one.
Oh, I drank all of your Busch Light.
Oh, you did? Okay,
yeah,
good.
I drank it all.
That was left over from when
there
my
was
mom
none
was
left.
Here.
Absolutely none left.
And my wife was like, "Let's bring that because it's gonna sit in our fridge and go to waste if someone else doesn't drink it."
Well, I drank the shit out of it because they didn't have it at my resort either, so it was great. It was good,
But then
taste buds.
We got to that restaurant and I had to find something else to drink, so I took a chance on the Bo's Old Fashioned, and it was a little too sweet, but it had the big ice cube. It was fine. Usually those like beach places, they can't do stuff like that, but no.
I want to do this really quick because we're on this Florida thing. So I took my kids to my 10-year-old daughter. This was the reason we went down.
Yeah, I want to hear about this concert.
Well, so she is obsessed. My 10-year-old daughter is a music nut. She loves music. She piano lessons. She's gonna learn guitar. She does the vocal stuff. Like she's very passionate about her music. And she loves Avril Lavigne, the pop star from when we were kids. And we gave her this for her birthday, or actually it was Christmas or one or the other, where we were going to take her to an Avril Lavigne concert. Well, Avril Lavigne does not tour around here at all. Like she's from Canada. Like it's a lot of like overseas stuff. And I saw that they were going to be down in Hollywood, which I knew was close to Hassel. And I'm like, this is great. We can see Hassel. We can take her to the concert. We're going to do it all. So we took our daughters to an Avril Lavigne and Simple Plan concert in 2025. And holy shit, it was so much fun, Chris.
You had
and
good
Kristen
seats.
totally should have gone. Like it was completely sold out. It was at the Hard Rock in Hollywood. I was thinking about this. I've been to a couple of rap concerts, but like that was so long ago. I don't know if I've ever been to a concert that's not country.
Oh yeah, because you go to George Gay and Travis
Yeah.
Travis Titt.
It was
you're going
amazing.
to Kings of the West with me on July 11th, right?
Yes.
Fargo Arena. Yes.
Wake up, wake up, wake up. It's the first of the month. It was so much fun. Like it was amazing that not everybody there was just pissed drunk like at a country concert. At a country concert that everybody's just binge drinking.
What? I bet a lot of people were on gummies.
Had a lot of dads with their daughters. We had a lot of blue hair. Just everybody.
What do you mean
was
blue
super,
hair?
A lot of gals that
Like old ladies?
no. Well, we had that like punk rock skater. Van Winks
You're
would have
talking
fit
about
right in.
actual dyed blue
Yeah,
hair?
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this gal next to me, she had like 15 different colors in her hair, and she had earrings that were cigarettes. Like it was so much fun though, and I forgot like Simple playing. I haven't listened to Simple. I never listened to them in high school because it's not really my thing. I knew like every song that they sang almost, and it was
a kid.
Yeah.
I'm a dick. I'm addicted to you. It was one of the best
seemed like
nights
a great
of my
time.
life. Yeah, it truly
the best
was.
concert I ever went to, and I haven't been to many concerts. I've been to like Rascal Flatts. I went to that shit with you at Wells Fargo. What was it? The guys with the long beards.
ZZ
and
Top.
ZZ Top and
Gretchen
Wilson because we got the tickets for free through the radio station or something.
That was our payment. Not even kidding. When we were doing fill-ins for Keith and Andy,
Oh, is that what that was?
they
Okay.
they didn't pay us.
This
at
was back
KXNO
15 years ago.
This was way before our actual stint there, my stint there, and we got ZZ Top and Gretchen Wilson tickets as a gift.
Yeah, that was not great. Not a
We
great
left early.
show. But the best one I went to was in Providence, Rhode Island. I drove over with Max Bretos from ESPN.
I love him. He's
And
hilarious.
We saw Foster the People in like a really small venue, and it was awesome. Like I'm not obsessed with Foster the People. He just like, hey, I'm going over. You want to come with? It was an off day. We drove over there. It was a blast, and it was a different scene. Like the crowd
yeah.
is totally different.
Everybody was so nice. Like we went to this Korean barbecue restaurant at the Hard Rock, which is really good. You and Chris.
Oh, that was in the hotel?
Yeah, that was the best meal.
Really?
Had. Oh, it was unbelievable. It was pricey, but for four of us, we got out of there for under $200 and we got cocktails, so it wasn't that bad. Like when you consider the Hard Rock and how ritzy most of that stuff is. But like the t-shirts, just everything. It was like everybody was.
I bet you didn't see a lot of Trump stuff there.
You did not. And that's the thing where I say it's like a totally different crowd than what I usually go to when I'm in concerts. And it was just so much fun. That Avril's a hell of a performer too. Like she's got a lot of hits. You forget about how big of a deal.
I like Avril Lavigne. I like Simple Plan. We were playing a lot of that on the boat the day before. You did a good job as DJ on the boat. I was impressed because you didn't like.
I didn't shove that country down your throat.
No, the 80s and 90s country that would have ruined the day.
Yeah, no, I played very like 90s, 2000s poppy that everybody likes. Everybody likes that kind of music.
I loved it.
So can you put it to rest? It was the real Avril Lavigne, right? It's not
It was.
fake, not the
fake.
fake.
Did the
Lavigne.
whole deep dive on that too. Matt, good call right there. A lot of people think that she's like a body double. Really fascinating stuff. You can dive into that.
Yeah, the conspiracy theory that she died like 25 or 20 years ago or something, and this is a new person.
Well, and you heard Cameron, my daughter, talking about it. Like she knows everything about Avril. Like, she knows everything about her. She knows, oh, that was her ex-husband then. They got a divorce. And then she married that guy. Like, she's locked in. So we had fun. But yeah, like the people watching was incredible because you had I really did, and I think it made me appreciate her even more, and I can see why my daughter is drawn to her music. It felt like a crowd of outcasts to some extent, and that's why Cameron likes her, because she's kind of like gives off this FU attitude of like, and my daughter is totally like a sweet kid. She's totally, like a normal kid, but she very much doesn't like give in to. Yeah, she doesn't. Like, this is who she is, and I'm proud of her for that. I hope she keeps that, but I could see why she looks up to this woman. So we had fun. Want to thank our friends over at Game Day Men's Health. Again, I'm walking around the beach, and I'm judging men by testosterone levels all weekend long. Where I'm like, that guy needs more tea. That guy needs more tea.
Did you think I needed more tea?
No, you're looking good. You look solid. You really do. You good looking guy right now. But I think you could probably. I'm guessing you would be on the scale like I was, where it's like you could use some tea, but you don't have to have the tea.
I was right at the close to the low end of normal. I don't know what the low end of normal is, like 250 or something like that, and I was like 280.
A lot of guys down there on the beach could go to Game Day Men's Health. Another thing, and I don't know, I haven't listened to Overthinking yet.
I have.
I don't know. Did they talk about the thongs?
Yeah, you were like the whole show.
Okay.
Because you sent in like 3 different
I haven't listened
questions.
to it yet. But, like, have you noticed, is it just a Florida thing, or do women just wear thongs all the time now? Like, it doesn't matter what size, shape you are. That is, and if you don't, it makes you look like a
That's
grandma.
changed over the last few years. It's and I think it's too much. It's just.
Every woman
like,
doesn't age.
It's
they're
like
all
a
wearing
G-string.
thongs.
Yeah,
it's unbelievable.
It's floss, and it's people from 60 years old all the way down to like you'll see 15-year-olds.
Yeah, just wearing thongs.
God.
Going into a restaurant wearing a thong.
Thong, ta thong, thong, thong.
Cisco.
Also thank our friends at Freedom Tire, because I rented a car, and I get nervous because I know it hasn't been serviced by our friends at Freedom Tire. And I'm like, I'm going to be driving with my kids on the interstate here. They should have taken this to Quentin and the team before I got in this vehicle. But that's what Freedom Tire will do to you. You trust them with your vehicle so much. They got locations all over the metro, also one up in Ames. Let's do some sports. Hassel was all amped up because Iowa Hawkeye men's basketball players are puking during summer.
Oh, God, yes. I wanted to hear back on how these early workouts are going, and I think we're going to be hearing from Ben McCollum and a lot of the players later on today, Tuesday, as they really ramp up. But Cooper Koch, who was the one guy that came back, so he knows what the old system was like. He went on off the air with Matt Randazzo, I think it was yesterday, and had this to say about the workouts that McCollum is putting them through.
The first day in the weight room, it was intense. The first week was just intense in general. And all the coaches are in there too, which is completely new for me. And it was probably one of the hardest workouts I've ever done. I actually ended up throwing up at the end of it. So that's probably my Ben McCollum waking up moment.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Make Rhabdo great again. Let's bring it back. Let's work these sons of bitches out.
Can we make a T-shirt for that? Make Rhabdo great again.
It's clearly totally different from what was going on with Fran McCaffrey. There were no coaches in the weight room.
So they're going to play defense.
Yeah, you're gonna run on both sides of the court, not just down to the offensive end and back.
Man, these highlights look like a Final Four team.
You're being facetious. I know.
No,
you're making
I'm not.
Fun.
I will say this, that because I know how Iowa State does it in June, and this is why it's really hard for them to recruit the right player, because it fucking sucks. It's not fun. This is a good sign.
Great sign.
the fact that he was there with Fran,
Mm-hmm.
and he's saying this, and he's a Fran. Like, I don't think that Cooper probably has a bad thought about Fran. Like, he's a legacy guy.
I mean,
been
he
there,
jumped in the portal right when Fran left.
This
His
is
dad blocked me on X because I said that was a perfect way for Fran to go out with the texts and getting tossed in his final game. They loved Fran.
This is a good sign if they're working that hard. And
this is when you do it. You don't want to be doing this shit during the season.
This is a good sign. I'm not even making fun of it. Like, this is absolutely a positive thing to hear.
This is when you find out who are your guys, who can make it. I mean, you're working them so hard they're puking in the weight room. Oh, my nipples are hard.
Is that all you got on Iowa basketball? Otzelberger's having a media availability today, so we'll get some.
Okay, so because Iowa, I believe, is doing the same thing.
Well, there was some news that came out of Iowa State. Now, this isn't breaking news to insiders and whatnot. I've kind of been reporting it to my subscribers for a while. This isn't news to you, but Iowa State did announce last week that Mason Williams had hip surgery. So he was the transfer from Eastern Washington. So he is, by all means, not going to be available for the upcoming season.
The whole season?
I don't think so. I don't know if they actually declared him out, but hip surgery is a pretty strong thing. It usually takes a while. So, but that is why, Chris, and we talked about this, but it just feels like it was forever ago. They went out and got that Dominic Nelson, the kid who was the WAC player of the year at Cal Poly. So remember,
that's why they got him, because they knew this hip surgery was in the mail?
Well, I think that they thought that there was a good chance that this Mason Williams wouldn't be available.
How many years does Williams have left?
Well, he has one to play, but he can redshirt this year. So, so he'll sit out this year and then play the next. Is from what that's how I understand it.
Is this an injury that happened after he got to Iowa State?
I don't know. I think this was a deal that was like lingering for him. From what I understand,
result of a pre-existing injury is what the press release said.
Jeez,
okay, yeah. So it sucks.
I hope
they planned on it.
Iowa State knew about this when they signed him.
I don't know if they thought it was this. I don't believe they thought it was as bad as it was. And then I think he was like working out and stuff, and they're like, "Why are you limping?" And did their own
like that
tests, and here you go.
Didn't Naz Long have some hip injuries when he was at Iowa State? I
Yes.
set him back quite a bit.
So I've talked to some coaches about this, not just at Iowa State, but in general. And these hip injuries are much more common than they used to be. And a lot of people think it's because of overuse, where, these kids now, like with youth sports, even like high school sports, like it blows my mind. My sister's kids, they're all really good athletes. And it's like, oh, I have a softball game tonight. I have basketball practice. Like, they're doing like an open gym at noon. They have weights in the morning. They never have any time off because all the like teams are like, oh, well, we need you to come and do this open gym. And then the thought is that it's overuse, and it's why these hip injuries are so prevalent now where they weren't 30 years ago, is what a lot of these coaches are thinking.
That kind of brings us into the Tyrese Haliburton discussion as well, because the same thing is happening with Achilles injuries. And the reason we're having so many of these, we have an injury analyst that comes on with us on CBS Sports HQ. His name is Marty Jaramillo. And he did some research on how far NBA players are running during games now compared to 10, 20 years ago. And it's actually pretty staggering. I don't know if it's pace of play or what, but players are running a lot more now than they used to around the court. And it amounts to that NBA teams are running on average 200 miles farther per season than they were just 12 years ago.
Wow.
And he thinks that is leading to overuse and unfortunately, to these catastrophic, well, they start off a lot of times as calf strains and then catastrophic Achilles injuries like we saw with Tyrese Haliburton.
In the NBA, like, I know it's financial, but what would hurt cutting the season by 10 games?
Money. That's it.
I get
It's
it.
money.
Like, I understand that. Can we not make up for that somewhere else?
I don't know. I don't know how you can.
It would make the product so much better, and we're talking about the injury thing now. It's like, God. I mean, the same thing with Major League Baseball. I understand why they have to have 162 games to pay these guys. I get it. But God damn. Like, can we use some common sense? One of my favorite sports, auto racing. We do the same thing. It's like, we don't need to start the season in February and go to November. Anyways,
Right.
Sorry, I'm going off on a tangent here. But that is really, I had not heard that. I had not ever thought about it that way.
Tyrese also posted late. I think it was late last night.
Yes.
In his hospital bed, a long message and a picture.
Heartbreaking. Did you read it?
Yeah, I'll just read.
Heartbreaking.
I'll just read part of it because it's really long. He said, "Man, don't know how to explain it other than shock. Words cannot express the pain of this letdown. The frustration is unfathomable. I've worked my whole life to get to this moment, and this is how it ends? Makes no sense. Now that I've gotten surgery, I wish I could count the number of times people will tell me I'm going to come back stronger. What a cliche, LOL. This shit sucks. My foot feels like dead weight. But what's hurting most is my mind. Feel like I'm rambling, but I know this is something I'll look back on when I'm through this as something I'm proud I fought through." And he went on to say he will get through it. He will hopefully come out better for it. He has a good attitude about it, but it's kind of refreshing to hear somebody say, I mean,
Real talk.
He's down in the dumps. Just he sees this long road and doesn't see the end of it.
And he's right. Of course, we all love Tyrese on this show. Everybody's rooting for him, and it sucks. Like, I was honestly welled up in my eyes watching that the other night because I know his dad really. It sucked. Like, that was one of my least favorite sports moments ever. Sunday night watching that by a long, probably my least favorite, to be honest with you, just to watch. But what sucks the most is even if he plays and they lose that game, he's one of the biggest stars of the NBA offseason. You look ahead to next year.
Yep, they're one of the favorites to get back next year.
And now, that has to stall.
Mm-hmm.
And
he's not going to play next year.
No, I hate that for him so much. I hate that for us. I hate that for all of us who were starting to become. I was becoming a Pacers fan, organically. I always say, you don't pick teams. It's hard to just be like, oh, I'm going to watch hockey and pick my favorite team. You don't pick teams. Teams pick you in sports, generally, unless you're born into something. And I was starting to care about the Pacers like I did the Bulls back in the day. Just very organically, all because of him. It certainly helps to have Caitlin in Indiana, right? It actually feels like there's a relationship between those franchises. And now all of that just has to take a year hiatus. That, on top of the injury, it sucks that he's got, but big picture, this is a really big blow for the momentum that he had going into next season. It sucks.
It is. And, I can't imagine what he's going through and what he'll have to go through. Just from a personal standpoint, my co-anchor Amanda Guerra blew out her knee, 5 months ago skiing. It tore 3 different ligaments. And so I've kind of seen what she's had to go through on a daily basis. And I don't see her going to therapy, but I see her when she comes back from it at work. And it's grueling, and it is a slow go. And for somebody that was becoming a superstar like Tyrese was, to have to just completely dial it back for a year and fight to just try to get back to this moment. You were right there. Yeah. You were right. You were leading Game 7 of the NBA Finals, and to have that taken away from you there, and now have to start. It's like a video game. Mario or whatever, you get killed and then you start back at the last checkpoint or whatever. This is, you lose all your lives and you've got to start from scratch, and it makes you want to turn the game off and not even play it again.
Honestly, once I wanted to throw up, dude, watching that the other night. That was horrible. And then you could just see it too when he went down. It wasn't like, oh, he rolled his ankle. Like, that was that was gruesome when you watched it again. I hope that he can come back and be the player that he is now. Like, the good thing is, if you're gonna tear your Achilles, it's probably the best time ever to do it, because these guys are coming back from it all the time compared to 10, 15 years ago. But because he's become such a star. I hope he has an agent that's working for him that can get him some deals, to keep his face out there. Because he's very likable, unless you're a New York Knicks fan. Like, Tyrese is just a very, very likable guy. And he was becoming we had the debate before the finals started. I think he already is a superstar. But I think you and me define it a little differently. I define it as, like, to me, a superstar can be, like, at the end of his career, like, Beckham was a superstar in soccer, even though he wasn't the best player on the field, right? Like, they call it a field, a pitch, whatever the hell they call it in soccer. Like, a superstar is like what that aura around you, and Tyrese has that. They've got to find a way for him to be able to use that next year. Maybe he can do some commentary. I don't know. Maybe he can do a podcast. I want to see Tyrese's face out there, because it's really good for the NBA to have this super positive guy who's passionate about his small market team, passionate about his city, not all into super teams, all that stuff. God, it makes me so mad just thinking about it.
Let's jump into Triple B real quick, because I'm going to give mine to Tyrese, and I want to ask you guys a question around this.
Okay, let's do it.
Bigger, better, bolder. Built by Kelderman Manufacturing.
It's crazy that Tyrese had a game-winning shot in all rounds of this playoffs, too. 4 game-winning shots. Some of them to seal those rounds, too. So of those 4, so you had the game winner against the Bucks, right? First round. You had the game 2 against Cleveland. You had the Eastern Conference Finals of game 1, obviously, where Tyrese got that rebound and came back and shot it. And then you had the Oklahoma City Thunder game 1. What was your favorite of his game-winning shots at this playoffs?
For me, it was the one that wasn't really a game-winning shot. It was a game-tying shot in the Knicks series. That's when I think it became real. Like, wow, the Pacers might actually be able to do this.
Yeah.
When he had his toe on the line, he thought he won it. He did the choke.
That's right.
thing.
It was the game-tying shot.
And
not the
then
game-winning,
and then he had to do something that was just as hard, if not harder. Had to go to overtime and make sure they still win that game, or else you look like a total fool.
Yeah, back it up.
That was my favorite.
Yeah,
that was my favorite and the most memorable.
I don't know, though. The one in game 1 was pretty sick too.
Layup over Giannis.
Yeah.
Well,
John they're all great.
You're talking about game 1. Yeah, the finals.
Yeah, I mean, I was just OKC because they were such a big underdog, right? Like, great run. Great run. This kills me that it ended. So I was gonna go. This is good timing here, because I was gonna go OKC for my Triple B. Listen to this. This is staggering to me, considering it's a non-super team. By the way, the NBA draft is tomorrow. OKC has 2 first-round picks. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
The Thunder are my Triple B. Early odds to win next year's NBA title right now. Oklahoma City is at plus 220.
Jeez.
The next best is the Knicks at plus 650. That is a massive, massive number. On the Tyrese thing, so assuming he's not going to play, you have to go down to plus 6,000.
Wow.
To find the Pacers, who went to Game 7.
Who
went to Game 7.
20th in the NBA right now?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not even on the first page of odds.
And it sucks for them, too, because they're not in the lottery because they were good. Like, the whole thing just blows. But plus 220, I'm telling you guys, this could be a real dynasty. They're young.
Everybody's under contract for next year.
What was that?
Everybody is under contract for next season for the Thunder, all the stars.
And they got all these first-round picks still coming in.
I think they might have 4 first-round picks next year too.
I mean,
it's insane.
geez.
What I don't love watching them on the court. I don't like how they play. I don't think it's. I don't think it's interesting. But what that front office did, building this thing back up, is amazing. And the fact that they didn't win a title with Kevin Durant, James Harden, Russell Westbrook, they couldn't do it. And they win a title this way and now have all this runway to win more titles in the next few years. It's really impressive from a front office standpoint.
I like it that way. I like.
Did you notice the celebration
teams,
though? Like it was like, I don't know what the deal is. If it's a new generation, if they're so young, there really wasn't much celebration on the court. Not what you expect from a title, from a team winning a championship. Some of them had never had alcohol before. They didn't know how to open a champagne bottle. One of the guys had never tasted a beer before, and he tasted it and just threw it away.
Chet Holmgren called Michelob. He called it Michelob.
Michelob? Like a Michelin star?
Yeah, Michelob.
Just weird.
I did find it a little bit interesting. Now, the TV ratings overall for the finals weren't great.
They were bad. They were terrible, actually,
but
until
Game
Game
7 did really well.
Most watched NBA game in 6 years.
Yeah.
Since 2019. Is somebody playing the wind chimes behind you, William?
That's Elise.
Will you tell her to shut the hell up?
Stop that. They can hear
you on
the
the
show.
I thought that was my baby.
Thank you. Elise is in the... I don't have a nanny today, and she was playing her xylophone.
Nice. Went to the Avril Lavigne concert. She's breaking
She's
out
all
these
fired
instruments.
She's all sorts of fired up. Who are you going with your Kelderman manufacturing triple
I don't know
B?
if you saw the Travelers Championship over the weekend, but it was actually really interesting. Keegan Bradley came back to win it on the last hole, beat Tommy Fleetwood. But Russell Henley finished 1 stroke back. He would have been in a playoff had he not called a penalty on himself that no one else saw and that no one else would have even known happened. Take a listen to what he said about it.
I wanted to ask you about 8 yesterday. What went on there, and why did you...
Yeah, why was I what?
I was going to say adamant about taking a penalty.
Yeah.
It looked like it could have gone either way.
Well, when I took the club back, I saw the ball move a dimple to the right. I saw it fall to the right. And so I know that for a fact. And right when it happened, it kind of shocked me a little bit. I still hit the shot, and as the ball was rolling on the green, I was thinking something just happened there. So I knew that the ball moved. And I just felt like it was the right thing to do. The rule says you have to be, I don't know if it's 19 out of 20 times or 95%. Yeah. But just definitely sure the ball moved, and I am. And so I just felt like it was the right thing to do.
Look at this guy.
No other sport. In fact, every other sport is the exact opposite of this. I mean, you have SGA drawing fouls, flopping all over the place in the NBA. In the NFL, you've got quarterbacks flopping like they just got shot if they get touched late in the pocket.
In my sport, cheating is like rewarded in racing. Like you're always trying to skirt the rules. That's the whole point.
And this guy, even though he could have 100% gotten away with it, whatever it was, his ball barely moved in his backswing. No one saw it. No one would have seen it. No one would have called him on it. It would have been fine. He would have been in a playoff. He calls it on himself, and he loses by a stroke. I just think it's just so different, and it's so refreshing compared to every other sport. I mean, look at soccer. My God. All the flopping that goes on there. I just think that's pretty cool. The gentleman's
really
game,
cool.
As they call it.
Good catch right there, man. That's really neat. Russell Henley. Okay. I want to thank our friends, Kaburski Brothers Lawn Service. They're going to get a workout coming up because we're finally getting some rain here we're getting soakers right now. The Turtles championship game got rained out last
Oh,
week.
you really?
Yeah. Postponed to next week. So we got another week to just sit on our nerves and prepare. But the Kaburski brothers, all the lawns and gardens and landscapes, everybody really needed this here in Iowa. If you need any landscaping coming up here later in the summer, remember our friends, the Kaburski brothers. Also, last but certainly not least, Matt, what do we have coming up at the Iowa Event Center? I know we got the big rap concert coming up on the 11th. Anything else new?
We got Aldine coming very soon.
Aldine.
And you got your boy Eric Church coming later this fall.
That's in
football
September.
Season. Yeah. We're kind of waiting on kick times till a lot of people are making the decision to buy tickets on that, because Iowa and Iowa State both play home games.
That'll be a hot ticket regardless. I'm sure a lot of people hoping for early games.
Yeah.
Coming up for that.
The big news down there is they're changing over to the Casey's Center here in just a week. So a week from today, actually.
I actually saw that Iowa Wild hired a new coach too.
They did. Yep, they got a new coach. The former Anaheim Ducks coach is their new man behind the bench. So
I enjoyed last week's All Access, Van Wook, where
Thanks.
you guys went back and kind of recapped the 20 years of
20
Wells
years.
Fargo Arena, and I remember going there year one. It was the very first year for it, and I called a high school basketball game. It was Pleasant Valley against Des Moines Hoover in the 4A championship game. It was the first year for that building. I think it was the same day that Iowa lost to Northwestern State in the first round of the NCAA tournament.
Ouch.
But it was a good trip down memory lane that you had with Flack.
Yeah, there's some interesting stories that I'd never heard. The fun one that he talked about was the Biebs, when Bieber came, when it was Bieber Fever, his very first tour. Did you hear that story where his crew came out and dumped water on the camera crews, and the girls standing out there to squirt guns all over the place? So what a time to be alive.
All right, I'm gonna go along. I got something to go along on, and we're gonna do a little giveaway. How about that?
It's time to go long with Wealth Charter Retirement Planning and Tax.
Actually, I had lunch with Tim from Wealth Charter before I went to Florida. A really good guy, and you can see why this company has been so successful over the years. They want to simplify all your finances, a one-stop shop, baby, at Wealth Charter. Can do your retirement planning. They can do your taxes. You got everybody under one roof. It's really smart the way they're doing things, and we appreciate them supporting what we're doing here on Iowa Everywhere. I've been a Formula One fan since I started liking Formula One when Sebastian Vettel and Red Bull came onto the scene. God, 20 years ago. It was 20 years ago or so. And this Drive to Survive has started this craze in America where people enjoy the sport, and now we have this movie coming out on this weekend. And I was shocked, Chris, at how many people I saw walking around Florida wearing F1 gear, like team gear, driver gear. It was crazy. It was. I saw considerably more people wearing Formula One team gear than I did NBA or MLB.
Really? Okay.
Yes.
I guess we are a F1 country. Because
Yeah, you
we've
really
got
are.
That Miami race.
And it's also, where we stayed, I think there was quite a bit of international flavor. It seemed like, at least. So, it was really fascinating to me. So we're doing this. We had the Iowa premiere of So I'm going long on F1 because I think that this sport is going to continue to grow.
This movie, I bet, will help it too.
I think it will. And this thing has got a lot of buzz behind it. Brad Pitt is the star of it, and we're giving away tickets to the Iowa premiere, which is tomorrow night at the Palms down in Waukee. I will be there, shaking hands, maybe buy you a beer if you come up and introduce yourself.
Keith Murphy will be there too. Who else? Who else is going to be there?
Aiden's going to be there. Matt, are you going? Are you going to the movie?
I don't think I can make it. I think Downs will be there.
Downs is
Mr. Movie
going.
will be there.
Woody's going to be there. Yeah, it's going to be quite the crew of Iowa Everywhere personalities and listeners, watchers, all that good stuff. And I'm fired up to see this. It's gotten pretty good reviews. I think that this is like, it's Brockmire, so it's going to be like watching Top Gun and watching Days of
Jim
Thunder.
Brockmire?
What's
You
the
mean
guy?
Brockheimer?
Brockheimer, yeah. Did I say Brockmire?
Brockmire is that the Hank Azaria fake announcer guy.
My apologies. It shows you how much I know about movies. But I'm super excited for this, and Murph is willing to give us a couple of tickets to give away. Because Murph kind of hoards these movie tickets. This is kind of his thing.
Mm-hmm.
And we were doing some texting last night, and I said I'm going to go long on F1. Maddie says, "Hey Murph, will you spare 2 tickets to give away on Two Guys?" And Murph says, "Absolutely, let's do it." So Maddie, how do you want to do this, my friend?
Let's just. Are we done with the show? We got some more time for the show. So let's give some people some time to enter. And
okay,
at
we'll
the
do that
very
right
end of the
now.
show. At the very end of the show, I'll pick a winner.
So in the next 10 minutes, we'll give that away. Meanwhile, Hassel wanted to talk about arrogant and cocky college football quarterbacks. All these guys are talking shit, man.
Yeah, there's been a couple different quarterbacks who have. I don't know if stepped in it is the right word. I guess we'll find out. Florida State's transfer quarterback from Boston College, Castellanos, has a game against Alabama to start the season, right? Alabama is going to Doak, play at Florida State week 1. And this kid, after Florida State won 2 games last season.
And got punked by him, too, if I remember correctly. Wasn't that in like one of the first games of the season, Castellanos?
Well, yes. Boston College beat
Yeah.
FSU in the first game of the season, yes.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
Thomas Castellanos, as his team is a 2-touchdown dog to Bama on their home field, says, quote, "I dreamed of playing against Alabama. They don't have Nick Saban to save them. I just don't see them stopping me." So he is giving Alabama 2 months of bulletin board material to get ready for this game. And then you have the Vanderbilt quarterback, Diego Pavia, talking shit about the Big Ten on the Bussin' with the Boys podcast, Matt.
Any Big Ten teams trying to get you?
You want to play with the best. You don't want to play with the Big Ten.
Some cats, man.
You ignore those calls.
The last 2 national titles.
I know.
Your era.
You ignore
Your
those
era.
calls. You know that.
The whole
You
time.
ain't ignoring these calls.
But you
bro.
got to think about this, too. The SEC is like nothing. Like, okay, the Big Ten, you have like Ohio State, Oregon,
It's Michigan.
Penn State, Penn State.
Yeah.
Okay.
Arguably after this year, Nebraska. I got you, kid.
Yeah, we will see. I'll finish that sentence.
Yeah,
But like
we just got to beat Iowa.
like the
We gotta beat Iowa.
SEC, you got all dogs. So like you really only have 4 games a year. Like the SEC, it's like week after week after. Like you're gonna get beat on. Like the Big Ten, you ain't gonna get beat on with like the Purdue,
You
Nebraska.
can nod all you want. Like that's a bullshit comment. Like a week after week.
Like that's real though.
So this Vanderbilt quarterback is hiding behind the SEC,
The Kiffin stuff.
saying that he doesn't even Big Ten. Give me no. They won the last 2 national championships. But my takeaway from this is, I think we're going to be seeing more of this shit talking, because we are paying these guys so much money now. They feel like they're professionals and they can say whatever the fuck they want, and that it's not going to that it's not going to come back to bite them. That nobody can tell them what they can and can't say. I think they're getting a little bit too comfortable in their own 21, 22-year-old shoes.
Yeah. I mean, this is like why I always say where I'm just so grateful that I didn't have Twitter when I was in college. Could you imagine? You're out at the bars. Like, it would have been a goddamn disaster. Because we wouldn't have known, everybody can go back and find this. Right?
Right. I used to have that conversation with one of my relatives. This was probably 10 years ago when she was in high school and just posting stuff that it's like you realize that you don't need to post that. Like, you don't need to say that. You don't need to. And I've posted some dumb shit too, even as an adult. But I don't think these guys realize the consequences that might be coming back at them for saying this. Like, if you're a Florida State coach and you've got Castellanos shit talking the Alabama, they're not going to be able to stop me. Are you kidding me? For 2 months, they are going to reference that every single day as they train for the upcoming season to play you.
Yeah, and
you're looking
Bama
for every
fans,
bit of motivation you can get in the summer. And you give them that?
Bama fans are just going to be tweeting at that kid nonstop. Just being in his head. The other thing that's interesting is, I mean, you see some shit talk in the NFL, but not like that. And I just want, because there's no, you sound a little too comfortable. Like, what are the consequences? You get a call from your coach. Okay. Hey, knock it off. Like, nobody controls anything. Like,
the consequences are going to come when he's out there on the field facing the Alabama defense.
You know what I mean, though? Like, there's nobody has jurisdiction over these guys because they can just up and leave.
Yeah, right. You can't tell me what to say. I'm making $3 million.
We're like in the NFL. It's like, well, no, you have a contract and you're here for the next 4 years. Shut your mouth. You are our employee.
I just think we're going to get more of this, whether you like it or not. And look, I love Diego Pavia when he was after wins last year, when he was, speaking his mind, and he had some great quotes. But it's just, come on, shitting on the Big Ten.
It's kind of like these guys who make the commitments to the school. They pick the hat in like a really disrespectful way, or and then they end up decommitting to the place.
Throw a hat off. Oh my God! Oh geez, we had
2 months later
more examples in the last week of do not ever waste any time celebrating a commitment, because we've got the Bo Bassett thing, that this big Iowa wrestling commit who
got a lot of play,
who is not coming to Iowa, and you've got Iowa and Iowa State quarterback commits. Iowa loses Cash Herrera to Indiana. Iowa State loses Tamala?
Yeah.
To Alabama. Like, this is why you cannot anymore get caught up in recruiting.
Well, the thing is, too, those guys, like, what are the chances they're even going to – what are the chances that Jet Tamala ends his career at Alabama? Seriously, what
5%?
A little lower than I would have said, but I would have said under 25 for sure. Like, what are the chances that kid's there for 5 years? You think they're not going to go recruit over him, and then he's going to transfer because he's going to
might not even end up going there.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It drives me nuts, man.
Are you doing okay with that, Van Winks? Because you were really excited when Iowa State got him. You okay?
Would have added to the nice lineage of Iowa State quarterback names. You had Brock, Rocco, Jet. I mean,
Steele.
Just would have been fit
Seneca.
perfect. Hey, at least our quarterback's not doing this though.
Man. What is Rule doing?
He is so disliked.
This is animal cruelty.
It is so easy to dislike.
He's sitting on the back of a bull, and he's got, what is that, Raiola in front of him?
Yeah.
And I saw he was posing with baby Gronk.
But a great example. Let's say Raiola, in a hypothetical, goes out and starts shit talking. I don't even know, Ohio State. What is Matt Rule gonna do?
Nothing.
You have no control over these guys. You have no power over them whatsoever. They own you.
Yeah.
Make them employees. We give away our movie tickets, Maddie?
Let's do it. Jackie Sandine's our winner.
Jackie.
All right. So we will get your name to Mr. Andrew Downs, and you'll be on the list.
That's kind of a nifty thing that you guys are doing when you do the random prize generator.
The giveaway generator. Yeah. So we can
pretty cool.
Put in the hashtag. But yeah, that is Wednesday at 7. Is that right, Williams?
Yeah, tomorrow night at 7. Yeah. Nice. IMAX.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing F1.
Are you going to go?
Oh, I'll definitely go. I don't know if I'll go this week, but I'll definitely go in IMAX. I got to see that.
Where's your closest IMAX? Fort Lauderdale got one?
We don't have to go that far. There's an IMAX in Delray.
Really?
Oh, yeah, brother.
Wow.
We're a bustling city.
Interesting. I feel like I'm really into your hood now since I've been down there, you know?
I wish I could have shown you around Delray. I think
you
really would.
I actually talked to my wife about this, and I said next time, like, I just want to go up and stay at Hassel's for an entire day and night and just do that.
Yeah, we'd get into some trouble.
Yeah, raise some hell. Thank you to Fareway Meat and Grocery. Sponsor
you know
the
what?
show, Channel
I
C
actually
Studios.
So I cooked up those 8 skinless brats, and we didn't eat all of them. You know, I saved them.
Oh, they're great.
Warmed them back up the next day. Yep. Oh, hey, when you have skinless brats, how many do you eat per sitting?
2.
That's what I did too.
Yeah,
I could eat way more than that, but
I'll usually do one with the bun, and then I'll just cut the other one up like a candy bar.
I did 2 buns.
I'm telling you, pro tip: dice up some peppers and onions, throw those on the grill or saute them or something. Throw those on top of a hoagie bun or brat bun or something like that. Spice it up a little bit.
That sounds good. I've got more of them in the freezer. I've got more of them ready to go.
Please give us a subscribe on YouTube.
We're starting to get some more subscriptions on YouTube. We're working our way toward that 10,000 mark on YouTube. So keep liking and keep subscribing. Go ahead and just check it. Check on YouTube to see if you're subscribed, because a lot of people think they are and they're not.
Hey, if we get to 10,000 by football season, Hassel, can we get you back for the Cy-Hawk game?
Maybe.
How about that?
Maybe. It's a maybe. It's a big maybe.
Appreciate y'all. Have a fantastic rest of your work week. We will be back on Thursday. We will have a CW pod coming up this week. Paul Shirley, former Cyclone, former NBA player, pro basketball player, is going to join me. We will have Murph and Andy coming up on Wednesday here on Iowa Everywhere.